Hi everyone and welcome to Campus Chanel. I'm here with EM Lyon Business School and we're going to be talking about the MSc in Management European Triple Degree Grande Ecole. Here with us today, I have the pleasure to welcome the head of the European Triple Degree Grande Ecole program. She's called Gudrun Kiefer. How are you, Gudrun?
Fine. And you? Hi everyone.
Hi Gudrun, I'm fine as well, thank you. And I also have the pleasure to welcome an alumni student, a former student from this program. She's called Katharina Gortat. How are you, Katharina?
Hi, thank you, very good.
Well, thanks to you for coming. You're both here to answer my questions, but first we're going to start with the pitch. All right, Gudrun, you're going to have 60 seconds to tell us everything that we have to know about your program. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. So, why should you choose the Master in Management European Triple Degree Grande Ecole program? Because of the number three. Three different diplomas, so the master's degree of EM Lyon Business School, MSc in Management of Lancaster University, and the MSc from Ludwig-Maximilians Universität München. Three excellent institutions with excellent rankings, international accreditations, access to three different networks, which is very important for your professional career, for the internship research, eventually for partnerships or company creations. Access also to the specializations of the three partners, no quotas, no limits, no selection. Access to also three different career advisors, so career counselors from each institution, and three professors who teach in each first-year course at EM Lyon Business School. So I think this was 1 minute. I have more than three other points. Let's talk about this during this.
Obviously, we're going to go through everything during this interview. That's why we're here. We have 30 minutes to do that. So first thing first, the first questions, as you asked for it. It is, what's the difference between the famous MSc Grande Ecole, at EM Lyon and the European Triple Degree? What's the difference, and can I apply to the two of those at the same time, or do I have to pick whether I go to the Triple Degree or through the Programme Grande Ecole?
Okay, so let's first talk perhaps about the difference between the normal Grande Ecole program and the Grande Ecole program European Triple Degree. So normal Grande Ecole program is, as you know, a general management course with specific courses. The ETD, the European Triple Degree, is a track of the Grande Ecole program, but with specific courses. So you have in the first year dedicated courses in the ETD program. Those courses are co-designed by the three partners, so by Munich, Lancaster and EM Lyon, and co-taught by the three partners. So you will have in each course a professor from Lancaster, a professor from Munich, and a professor from EM Lyon Business School. All professors are full-time, high-level professors, international professors, so they come from all over the world. They are not only European, and they will teach you specific general management courses, which will give you then the basics for your specializations in one of the three institutions. So the courses of the ETD are different of the Grande Ecole program courses. Some requirements are the same, like 12 months of professional experience. This can be internships or full-time jobs, or even if you want to create your own company after the second year, we can also validate this. So there are some very important differences between Grande Ecole and ETD. So regarding the admission, yeah?
No, sorry. Keep going.
Okay. And then perhaps let's come back to the difference to the Grande Ecole program. After your first year at EM Lyon and after your first internship, you will choose for your second year to go either to Munich to do the strategy and change track, or to Lancaster to do marketing or corporate development. You can also choose to go to our Shanghai campus to do their finance for Asia or luxury marketing or marketing, general marketing, or you choose to stay in Ecole in France and you do their finance or marketing, or you go to Lancaster to study their corporate development or marketing. So you have different possibilities. As said before, there are no quotas, so you can really choose the specialization you want to do. Compared to the Grande Ecole program, where you have there are very tough selections for double degrees or academic exchange programs. If you want to go to Bocconi, which is, as you know, one of the best European universities, we have only 2 or 3 places for Bocconi, and you have to be one of the best Grande Ecole program students to get a place there to study in Italy.
Oh, all right, perfect. Perfect. I just want to ask, unless you want to finish, but I have a question for Katharina first. I was wondering, why did you pick the triple degree, for example? I mean, I'm sure you had the choice to choose between like Programme Grande Ecole or the triple degree. What made you pick the ETD?
So one big difference for me is the proximity in the cohort. So it means in the ETD program, we are around 70 or 80 students, and we are together for a whole year. So we really get to know each other, work together, and then make also friends, long after we graduated. So the proximity is really important.
All right, so that's why you pay. It's like a family atmosphere, and like that's why you wanted to be there.
Yes.
How many? I mean, I know that you mentioned no quota, Gudrun, and you were like you could pick whatever you want, but I'm sure there is a quota when it comes to the admission process. How many students do you accept onto the course each year, and are there a limited number of places? And I guess the answer is yes, but what is that number?
Yeah, so the ETD is part of the Grande Ecole program. So there is the selection by EM Lyon via 2 different admission paths. The first one is the, for those who are French, you know this is the Admission sur titre France. So we accept for the ETD and for the Grande Ecole program this year, we offer 380 places. But students, international students or French students with an international diploma can now apply for ETD via the international admission path. So we have for the moment as you know, the ISTF, so the places which are offered for the Grande Ecole program concours are limited to 380. So French students with a French diploma or international students with a French diploma, they have to apply via this admission path, and the international ones with an international diploma via the international admission path. So there will be a mix of admitted students from the ISTF and from the new international path.
All right. So
but ETD,
sorry.
ETD is not only an admission process by EM Lyon Business School, Lancaster University, and Ludwig Maximilian University. So, in fact, the German government, they have also the right, but they have to admit each student, each applicant to the ETD. And all applicants have to fulfill the requirements from Lancaster and from Munich and from EM Lyon Business.
Okay, so it's a very like demanding program, and you have like many steps to go through before getting accepted. Katharina, we mentioned the admission process, and I'm sure there are interviews, and it seems that the interview has a specific format when it comes to the triple degree. And I was wondering if you could tell us what it is and what what piece of advice can I get if I want to pass and have the same degree as you have?
Mm-hmm. So the interview format is via video. So right now with COVID, it would be different, but it's normally 5 to 7 questions, and you have 30 seconds to prepare the questions and then 1 minute to answer it. And at first it could be a little bit strange because you don't have any person in front of you, you don't have the human interaction, and you really need to get used to it. So my advice would be to prepare some questions that could be asked, like one of the reasons you would like to join the program, or why would you be the best candidate, for example, to practice it also in front of a camera when you have nobody in front of you, and then get used to it. And I think the most important is just to relax, breathe, and enjoy the process.
All right. Do you have like a piece of answers that you could give to those questions? For example, like why would you be the best candidate? Like what should I answer as a candidate to the triple degree, for example?
Well, I would say that the international perspective is very important, that you would like to work in an international field, and that you want to work with people from different cultures. Really interesting. It's not always easy, but it is how it is today. Also in big companies, you will always work with people from China, from India, from France, and the cultures are not always the same. And this could be one of the answers that would be good.
All right, Gudrun, could you give us?
Yeah, I would like to add something because Katharina, she's an alumni, so she graduated and she is working now in a German company in Germany. When she did the interview, this format was a bit different from the current interviews because we added for international students a sort of online assessment via a specific platform where international students will ask questions about will be asked questions about meetings. They will have to deal with a sort of virtual meeting. Different characters show how they react in meetings, their personality, etc. And then they have, as Katharina said, 7 or 8 now additional questions. So it's in English, and it's more or less like normal job interviews. So we ask questions about your motivation, about your behavior in group work, what you did during your studies, how you will tackle problems, and so on. So these questions are really normal questions for job interviews or interviews for an internship, etc. So the French applicants for the ISTF, they will participate in the normal ISTF admission process. So we will first check their diploma, their academic grades. We will have a look on eventual internships or international experience. We will check your Tâche score. So this is a French management test. Your English test. So could be a TOEIC or IELTS or whatever. And then when you are admitted to the oral exams, you will pass a motivation oral exam with specific EM Lyon questions and an additional 25 oral exam in English, because it's very important for us that our students are fluent in English, because ETD is fully taught in English at EM Lyon Business School, and then even in Munich, it's not in French, it's not in German, it's fully taught in English, because our students come from all over the world, and some of them, they do not even speak a word of French or a word of German. So you have to be fluent in English. This is very important. And we test this in different ways for the French applicants and for international applicants. So there's now a new format, Katharina.
Speaking of Taj Mahal and TOEIC, I was wondering how much it weighs in the admission process. Like how much has to be my Taj Mahal, for example, because it's a very demanding test. There's a GMAT as well, but I was wondering how important is it? And on the other side, how would you advise me to get ready for those tests? Like, should I go in a private institute in order to get ready, or do I don't need that kind of thing? Just buy a book and work on yourself. Maybe Katharina, you will tell us your experience. But first, I'm wondering, Gudrun, what would be like the emphasis on those tests in the admission process?
So for the admission process for French applicants, the Taj Mahal score or the GMAT score is not the most important point for your admission or non-admission. We check your whole file with academic grades during your studies. Eventually, if you did an Erasmus or not, as I said before, international experience or not. And don't forget, we have partners, we have high-level partners. Munich is #1 in Germany. They have very strict and very tough admission conditions, but at the end, they do the same thing as we do. We have a look on on the whole admission profile. So it's impossible for me to tell you that if you have 350 in the Taj Mahal, you will be admitted in any case, because we will also check what happened during your licence studies or bachelor studies, and also how you perform during the oral exams, and also if your oral English is perfect or not.
All right.
So it's not only linked to a management test score. It's linked to your whole profile and your whole performance. Same point for international students. We check your GMAT, GRE scores. We check your English test scores. But there, for example, is a requirement from Lancaster that if you submit the IELTS, you have to have at least 6.5 in each section, because this is necessary for our UK partner. And also Munich, they focus on your English level, because students who do not have the necessary competencies in English, they will not be able to follow these high-level management courses in English.
Okay, sorry, I thought you had finished, but very briefly, Katharina, what advice would you give a student? Just on those two tests, and then we're going to move on to the clichés. But right before we go to the clichés, I would like to hear your answer.
Yes. So what I did is I took 2 to 3 months to prepare the test. So I elaborated a study plan where I knew when would I study, what would I study, and for how long. And another advice that was really good for me, I had a working group with people from my bachelor, and we worked all together for the GMAT. So we practiced the tests together, and then we helped each other, and that was really, really helpful, actually.
All right, so working group, and you don't need necessarily to go in a private institute. Well, thank you for answering the first questions, and we're going to the clichés now. All right, so the clichés are about the preconceptions, the idea that you might have had before applying to this master, or as once you're a student or as a teacher. What would be the first cliché that comes to your mind, Katharina, when I say MSc in management, when I say EM Lyon, when I say Grande Ecole, when I say ETD, European triple degree? What are the preconceptions what's the first cliché that comes to your mind? Tell me.
So one cliché that is coming to my mind is that the ETD program is only for students who want to work outside of their home country, and that they want to work in a different or international country. And I would say that's not true, because you have a lot of, for example, French people who will do their specialization in Munich and then will come back to France to work. And I think for big companies or also consulting companies, they would be very happy to see that you already worked in another, or that you studied in another country, and that you're coming back to France, and that you have the possibility to work in an international team. Because that's something today, with the globalization, teams are getting bigger and also multicultural. And now with COVID, of course, it's also virtual. So it's really important to know how to work with different people from different nationalities, cultures. And therefore, the cliché is definitely not true.
All right. So could we say
confirm,
that? Could we say that, for example, it will make you more employable to the English market, the German market, and the French market as well? But not only, it will also help you like to adapt to like a local context, and so that you could actually like be in a business relation with any kind of country. Is that what would be like truer than the first cliché?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, yeah. You know, we have a lot of ETD alumni, so who apply later in German companies in France, for example. So if you have the reference that you graduated from an international European triple degree with Ludwig Maximilians University, this is an excellent reference for your job application. So don't forget that this ETD is not only a sort of triple degree written on a paper. You will be taught by 3 institutions in the first year. You can write your master dissertation after the second year wherever you want. So you can specialize in finance at EM Lyon, but you can write later than your master dissertation with Ludwig Maximilians University and a very well-known professor from LMU. So that's only a bonus for you. It's an excellence. It's academic excellence and it's international excellence. EM Lyon, a lot of applicants or students in the prepar classes or international students, they hear about entrepreneurship and EM Lyon Business School. And so this is a school only for entrepreneurs. But this is not really true. I mean, we educate entrepreneurs. We help our students to be able, perhaps if they wish so, to create their own company later. But entrepreneur or entrepreneurship means that you will be able to develop projects, to develop new ideas. This can be your own company, but this can also be in a company, because if you graduate from a Grande Ecole program or from the ETD, you will work later on a very high level. And you will be asked to come with new ideas, to develop, as said before, perhaps a new service or a new product, or go digital, or change the whole strategy of the company. These competencies are entrepreneurial competencies. So don't think that entrepreneurship means only I have to create my own company. We have ETD students who create already during their studies their own company. Perhaps it's digital business, or sometimes it's in the service sector. We have not that much ETD alumni who create after the graduation their company. They often work, let's say, during 10 or 15 years in huge international or French companies, and then perhaps they will create their own company. But it's not compulsory to be an entrepreneurship in the sense of company creator, to study at EM Lyon or to do the ETD.
All right, so entrepreneur is a state of mind. It's not just a job. All right, perfect.
Mindset, yeah. It's not only business.
We're talking about the triple degree, and in the second year I will have to choose between Munich, Lancaster or Shanghai. And I was wondering, is there a way I could do the 3 of those? Like maybe I want to study in like the 3 countries. Is there a way I could just have like, add an extra 6 months and go in Lancaster and Munich, for example?
No, that's not possible, because the different specializations, let's let's say in Munich, they start in October and they end end of February, early March. So it would not be possible to do first the whole specialization in Munich, then for another 6 or 7 months of specialization at Lancaster, and at the end again a specialization at EM Lyon, Shanghai, or Ecole campus. This would mean that students would study about 4 years or something like this, if you include the 12 months of professional experience. So unfortunately, you can't do this, but what you can do is go first to Shanghai campus in the fall semester. So fall means from September to December, and then come back to Ecole and continue your finance or marketing program at EM Lyon Business School.
So there is a way. So we're talking about students who would want to do more, and I have there are different kind of students as well. And the question is, if I have a strong international background, do I still have to study abroad?
It's recommended for all students to have international experience. So, I mean, it's not only an academic requirement, but it's a professional requirement if we ask our French students to do at least 6 months abroad, at least. As Katharina said, recruiters are looking nowadays for persons with international experience or experience in international teams. It's not recommended to do everything in France, to stay during your whole studies in France. Why should you do this? I mean, you will work later in an international context, and you need to know how to work with Chinese people or Germans or Italians or Americans. It's necessary for your job. So, okay, I mean, in case a student would be sick and he had a former international experience like an Erasmus exchange, we can validate this, but it's in fact a nonsense. International experience is a plus and not a must, and not only a requirement.
Yes, especially if you go for the European triple degree, there's European in it, so you want to have a European experience as well. Katharina, we talk about 2 years, including 12 months of internship, and you did go through those 2 years, and I was wondering, is it long enough to learn from 3 different universities, because it's a very short period of time, or it's either very intense or not long enough? I know you will tell me, and I was wondering if I would achieve the same level of excellence as I would with I don't know, a single degree, for example. Is it better to focus on like one MSc in management, or would I get more from just like 3 different degrees, but just like in a very short period of time? Could you tell us about it?
I would say that is definitely intense, because for every week we will have 3 different professors coming to EM Lyon teaching us about a different subject. But I mean, it's an excellent program, so I think all the students that apply, they also know that it will be intense, but they are up for the challenge. And I think it's something, it's good, and it's also interesting because you are motivated, you are with a lot of other students who are motivated, who want to learn something, who want to do the best. And that's something that is really, really good.
Is there anything? Yes, sorry.
And I would say it is possible. The 2 years, so the first semester at EM Lyon and then the second semester, the specialization, is definitely enough. You can you get a lot of information that you can also process, and it's a really excellent start to before going into your first job, actually.
All right, so you are very eloquent about this program, about the ETD. Is there anything that students are not happy about with this master?
No, I think honesty is good, and I think one point that I remember is that for students who want to do the finance track, it was a little bit more complicated to find an internship after the first semester, as we have a clear timeline. So the semester finishes at EM Lyon end of March, and then the internship can start in April or in May. And for students who choose the finance track, it was sometimes a challenge to find an internship in finance, because most of the finance internship are available in February.
Okay, Gudrun, do you want to react?
Yeah, this is true. If they are looking for a extremely high level internship in finance after the first year, which is in fact a sort of illusion, and if they apply only in Paris, yes, it's true, it's complicated because Parisian recruiters, they hire from January to July or from August, September to December. But if you are looking for an internship in finance, not in Paris, but in another city or in another country, you can find an internship. So that's true. The other point, I would say that a lot of French students are not that happy that they can't spend 80% of their time in the student associations. Because, as Katharina said before, ETD is an elite program with 3 elite institutions, and we have elite professors, full-time professors from Munich and from Lancaster who travel to EM Lyon. So we have courses in a seminar format from Monday to Friday, 24 face-to-face hours a week. It's very intense. You have to prepare the courses. So there is not that much time left to do hours and hours and hours or days or nights for student associations. And it's very French. And a lot of students who apply to the Grande Ecole program, they had a tough time in those preparatory classes or specific licence programs to prepare the concours, so the written and oral admissions, and they dream of a sort of first year leisure time with a lot of activities and parties and student associations. So it's complicated for ETD students who wish to do both in parallel during the first year. But we have ETD students who did it. They managed to organize their academic path and validate their academic path in an excellent way, and also work in the same time for a student association. So only the best are able to do this.
Okay, so it's the program for the best, and the best can party in this program as well as studying.
They can, if they are able. Yeah, if they are able to do both, great. By the way, we are the only program at EM Lyon which offers a scholarship for academic excellence after the first year. This means that we will check your grades from the first year, and in case you are a super good student, you will get a sort of tuition fee reduction, which can be around 5,000 euros. So we want good students. We want students who are active, who participate, who do a great job during their academic path, because we work with a German university and with a UK university. And if you want to apply in Germany for a job, Katharina, you can confirm this, and your annual mean grade is 10 out of 20, they will not even invite you for the job interview.
Okay, so you need to have good grades in order to have like good job interviews. Yes. We got it. Katharina, one last quick question before the extra time, and I'm sure like you're very well placed to answer that question. When it comes to the alumni network, will a student be an alumni from the 3 schools and university, or do you have your own alumni network? I mean, you're an alumni now. To which alumni networks do you belong to?
Well, to several, I would say. That's the good thing and being part of the ETD program. So I'm an alumni of LMU in Munich, of EM Lyon, and also of Lancaster. So that's 3 alumni networks. And also then we have our own ETD alumni network, where all students that graduated from the ETD are together. And it's always animated, so job offerings, tips, hints, and stay in touch to connect actually.
Okay, thank you for that very quick answer. We had 2 minutes left a few minutes ago, so let's head to extra times. Extra time is a minute that I'm going to give to each of you to tell us one last thing you want to say about the ETD, so that you don't leave with something in your mind that you wanted to say because you want people to know it. Katharina, I will let you start.
Yes, so I would say the program, if you're interested to work in an international field and with an excellent reputation, it's perfect for you. So also in Munich, we had professors working who were former MDs at McKinsey, Deloitte, PwC. So the network is really, really good. And the job opportunities afterwards are really excellent, actually.
Thank you very much, Katharina, for being precise with concrete companies. Gudrun, you open the show and you're going to close it.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a lot about excellence and elite and admission conditions, but you should try to apply to the ETD and don't be afraid of admission conditions and don't be afraid of this elite discourse, because for us, what we want is that our students perform well during their academic path, because we want to offer them the best professional experiences, the best internship opportunities. As Katharina said, high-level double degree, triple degrees, so specialization in Munich with external professors, company creators, CEOs. Same point for Lancaster, where you can work during your specialization with a consultancy firm. And yes, EM Lyon, I mean, we have the whole career stuff here, career advisors, career events, career days, reputation of our school. I can only recommend the ETD. It's an international track with an international ETD team and with international students. It's a great program.
We got it. It's a family atmosphere with European world ambitions. Well, thank you two for answering all my questions and finding all the cliches that came to your mind. I hope you had fun watching this interview as much as I had fun asking you questions and making it. And for the people watching, I hope to see you soon on Campus Chanel.